Hi, my name is Josephine. I'm part of Reefs. I'm head of business development, and Reefs stands for We Thinking, We Building, and We Generating Coral Reefs. I think I forgot my clicker here. So what we do is we rebuild degraded coral reefs, and we empower companies to act on biodiversity. So I think all of us know we live in a world where there are multiple crises. And one of the most severe, but often not talked about, is the global loss of biodiversity. Today, over 41,000 species are threatened with extinction. And this not only has an impact on nature, but directly on our livelihoods, on the businesses and our economies. Because 55% of global GDP depend on high-functioning biodiversity. Companies face several biodiversity risks that are associated with the global loss of biodiversity. First of all, for companies that directly rely on biosphere services, such as clean water, pollination, or natural chemical compounds. Then there's, of course, the risk of loss of reputation if you don't act on biodiversity, meaning less customers, less talent, and less investment. And lastly, there are, simply put, regulations. Companies committed to the Science Based Target Initiative today make up 1/3 of the global market cap. And this initiative, whilst focusing on carbon emissions today, is already thinking about introducing biodiversity targets by 2025. So all these aspects mean that companies have to act on biodiversity. The thing is, they don't know how to do it. And that's why we at Reefs not only believe that it's necessary to make biodiversity targets mandatory, but also to show companies how they can act on them. Consumers demand actions from companies on biodiversity. And whilst this translates into a voluntary market at the moment, there are already biodiversity regulations in place in over 37 countries, and this is going to expand. For the recent Biodiversity Barometer, 6,000 people have been surveyed from 6 different countries. And the survey found that an overall 84% is demanding change from governments, from companies, that they take a stand on biodiversity today. Our vision at Reefs is a healthy ocean full of marine life. And this is not possible without coral reefs. Coral reefs are the most biodiverse ecosystem on this planet, and they are home to over 1/4 of all marine life. And we achieve this vision in 3 steps. We rebuild degraded coral reefs, we make them climate resilient, and we develop biodiversity credits to finance them. So for the first step, rebuilding coral reefs, we've already shown that our solution works with our pilot reef on the island of San Andres in Colombia, which we've built over a year ago. And our solution is based on 3D printing technology. We can develop modular, lightweight clay modules, which we can staple underwater and create customized shapes to direct the water flow or even break waves. And each brick surface is designed to boost coral settlement and growth. And in the end, we can build a complex habitat not only for corals, but for many other marine organisms to live there. This is a video from our pilot reef, and after 3 months, we could already see that the diversity of fish was similar to the natural reefs around it. And the most exciting news was that after 8 months, we discovered the first baby corals on our reefs. And I'm curious to see, maybe by hand, who has ever seen a baby coral in this room? Okay, so a few. Let me show you an image of a baby coral, and I will zoom in a bit more in order to see something. So this is one of the first baby corals we have found on our pilot reef. And it not only shows us that our solution works, but it also stands for the capacity of corals to bounce back, despite local stresses such as pollution and overfishing are ongoing, and of course global pressure from climate change continuing. Here are some more photos of our 1-year monitoring at our pilot reef. And you can see the baby corals are still quite small, but in 3 to 4 years, they will have grown to their proper sizes, overgrowing the whole reef structure and you won't be able to see anything of the bricks anymore. So coming to the second step, building climate-resilient reefs. We are working together with different approaches in the coral conservation space, from coral farming to coral gardening to coral breeding. And all these techniques are used to reproduce climate-resilient corals, which are also called supercorals, and to replant them on our reef structure, making our reefs future resilient to climate change. And we've already worked with this approach in our pilot reef as well. Now the third step, creating biodiversity credits to finance our reefs. We are working together with different companies who are currently in the carbon market, in the carbon credit market. And the goal is to develop a unit for biodiversity that works also underwater in the marine space. And really the goal is to facilitate market mechanisms for biodiversity offsetting. The tool we use to measure and quantify biodiversity at our reefs is environmental DNA, short eDNA. And with that, we can really measure the progress of biodiversity on our reefs. And the goal is to have, by 2025, working biodiversity credits alongside regulations in place. Until then, we offer reefs as a service to companies that are early movers and ahead of regulations. And as you can see here, we are focusing on biodiversity as well as on the ecotourism space, because an additional benefit of our reef is that it acts also as a tourism attraction. So we offer customized packages to companies, which include, of course, the building of a reef, but also the reef regeneration certification, as well as customer and employee experiences, and a communication package with up-to-date reef data. And why do companies buy our packages? Because it's one engagement with many benefits. First of all, we offer fast visual results. We have an engaging project from day one with an easy-to-grasp impact, and we offer tailored employee experiences. We are an interdisciplinary female leadership team. We have Ulrike as our CEO, head of research development, Marie with an artistic background, creative director, Hannah leading the field operations, and me, myself, with a background in business and international relations, heading the business development side. We are also very grateful for our advisory board, really at the intersection between science and business. So, biodiversity is our business, and I encourage you to make it part of yours. Thank you very much, and please come and talk to me if you want to learn more about reefs.
Thank you very much.